Now, while much of your work evidences you as in the thick of things, Lola, culturally, on the street, as it were, dealing with the issues of the current cultural concerns, you also include on your website, that formal place that we show our face to the world, um, a section called The Scent of Autumn. And that deals just with formal concerns of color and texture rather than concept. So my question is, how much of that is consciously a part of your other photographs? And do you often take a breath, as it were, just to plunge into nature and those very formal things, and allow those things to inform and refill you?
Yeah, thank you for asking me about this series because I think that often when I'm on a panel, people focus on my portraits and my sort of landscapes seem to be left behind. So Sense of Autumn is really, I think about them as my watercolors.
Ah,
So during the late 80s, I was here in New York and I was a big AIDS activist. I suppose once you're an AIDS activist, you're always an AIDS activist. And I used to always say, it's like when I graduated from college in '81, that was the first year that someone was diagnosed with HIV, which we now know was further back, but that's the first time New York Times reported on it. So I felt as though as soon as I graduated, I kind of got launched into this political realm that dealt with my communities. And so I used to always say to myself, I'm never going to take a beautiful picture until the AIDS crisis is over.
ah,
So I continue taking these, challenging photographs and working on issues that people don't really want to talk about. And when I got to about 40, I said to myself, geez, I really need a break. I really need to just take some fun pictures. So, I wanted to go back to the formal elements of art. I went to art school. So, composition, color, shape,
yeah.
line, texture, all of those things. And I kind of wanted to remind myself of how I used to be when I was a young photographer. And I just went around and took pictures of, cool lighting and everything. And so I said to myself, okay, even an activist needs a little bit of a break. And I think it's also this kind of reminiscing of the summer. These are all taken in the fall, mostly New York beaches. And I just really wanted to, like find these things, like most of my images are so sort of set up. I almost have them already in my head before I take them. But these, I just kind of like, I was like, oh, look at the light there, and it was really kind of rejuvenating for me to just have this work that had, I mean, almost anything I think I do has some kind of political overtone, but this here, I'm really focusing on the formal elements, like when I was little and I used to just take random photographs. So that's kind of where these come from. Um,
Oh, yeah, and that really intrigued me, and I'm happy to hear that you were interested to speak about it. So, thank you so much.